People say that nothing good in life is free, but I would say that those people have never been to Kuala Lumpur, because here in Kuala Lumpur, the GoKL buses are absolutely free. GoKL is a bus service that started in Kuala Lumpur in 2012 for tourists and for locals. There are currently 4 lines, and they're organized by color. There's the purple line, the green line, the blue line, and the red line. I already made a video about riding on the purple line, which starts here at the Pasar Seni LRT station in Chinatown and goes to Bukit Bintang. Today, I'm going to take a ride on the green line, which goes between Bukit Bintang and KLCC near the Petronas towers. Just to give a quick overview of the GoKL system, all of the GoKL free buses have the same color scheme. They all look like this. They are purple or lilac in color. They have wheelchair accessible doors in the back. They're modern air-conditioned buses, quite comfortable, and they have Wi-Fi, free public Wi-Fi available on all the buses. The buses run on weekdays and weekends. On weekdays, they start at 6 o'clock in the morning and end at 11 at night. On the weekend, they run from 7 in the morning until 11 at night. During peak hours, there could be a bus as frequently as every 5 minutes. And during off-peak hours, they run maybe around every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes, something like that. A really cool thing about the GoKL bus lines is that all of them run in kind of a loop. So you can get on the bus at any point, go around the entire route, and come right back to where you started. And that's what I did the other day with the purple line. I got on the bus here, went to Bukit Bintang. The bus went in a loop around Bukit Bintang and then came right back here. This is a map of the whole GoKL system. As you can see, there are 4 lines, the purple, green, red, and blue. The purple and the green were the first lines to go into operation in 2012. The red and the blue came online in 2014. As you can see, the purple and the green and the blue lines, they all go through Bukit Bintang down here in the corner. And I'm thinking that this is a good place for me to transfer. So my plan is to take the purple line to Bukit Bintang, get off the bus here, and then transfer to the green line and complete a loop all the way around to KLCC and the Petronas towers, and then come back to Bukit Bintang, transfer again to the purple line, and return to Pasar Seni. If I were just taking the purple line again, going in a loop, it would be easy as can be. You just get on the bus, enjoy the ride, look at the attractions of Kuala Lumpur, and come all the way back around to where you started. But today I'm making it a bit more challenging because I have to transfer to the green line, and I don't really know how to do that. I'm not sure what direction the green line goes in, so I'm not sure what side of the street I have to be on to catch the green bus. So when I get to Bukit Bintang, I have to get out of the purple bus, the purple line bus, and then find where the green GoKL bus stops and get on that bus there. So we'll see how that works out. They may have altered the route a little bit, I'm not sure, but from what I've read, the green line has 13 stops, runs 7.5 kilometers, and it takes about 40 minutes to complete a loop on the whole track. I'm just looking up at the route map of the GoKL system here, and it looks like for the green line, KLCC is kind of considered the first stop. That's right beside the Petronas Towers. And then I believe it goes from there in a counterclockwise direction to Menara, BSN, MaTic, the Malaysia Tourism Center stop, then to the Renaissance Hotel, Concorde Hotel, Life Center, Wisma Cosway. Then it goes into Bukit Bintang, stopping at Pavillion, at Bukit Bintang, the Raja Chulan monorail stop, then goes up to Wisma Rojas Perkasa, Grand Hyatt Hotel, Exxon Mobil, CitiBank, Wisma Atlan, and then back to KLCC. When I rode on the Purple Line the other day, it was a very familiar experience because I know this neighborhood very well. I know Chinatown, Bukit Bintang, and I know the area in between the two. But today, going on the Green Line, it'll be kind of a new experience because we'll be heading out into parts of the city that I visited before, but I'm not that familiar with. So I'm going to be looking out the window and trying to see what tourist attractions are available along the Green Line here in Kuala Lumpur. I prefer to get on buses at their very first station, if I can. That means I can get on the bus when it's completely empty, and then it's a lot easier to get a seat. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to let this bus go. It's already kind of full, all the seats are taken, and I'm going to wait until the next bus pulls up, the doors open, and I can be one of the first people on board. We'll see if that happens. As I mentioned in my first video, the 4 lines are organized by color, the purple, green, blue, and red line, but all of the GoKL buses are purple or lilac. So when you're talking about the color of the line, you have to look at the sign either on the front of the bus or on the side, and it will tell you whether it is the blue line, the red, the green, or the purple. You can't go by the color of the bus itself because all of them are purple. So don't get confused about that. There goes the full bus. Now I'm just going to wait until the next bus pulls up into position and see how long that takes. That bus left at 20 after 1, according to my watch. And we'll see how long it takes for the next purple line bus to leave. And here it comes. And as you can see up at the top of the bus there, it says Purple Line. And it will also say that on the sign there. Hello. Something else to note is that in Malaysia, they drive on the left side of the road. So if you want to keep an eye open for the bus stops and see where the bus stops, it's best to take a seat on the left side of the bus, and then you can see the side of the road where all the bus stops are. If you're on the right side, you're looking out into oncoming traffic, and you see just as many interesting things from the right-hand side, but it would be more difficult to see the bus stops. One of the questions I had when I rode on my first GoKL bus was whether there really was Wi-Fi available, and it turns out there is. I just turned on my phone, and up at the top here you can see GoKL City Bus 6, and there was one GoKL City Bus 10, but I believe we are on bus number 6. So I just click on that, and you don't need a password or anything like that. It took a few minutes to connect for some reason this time, But here you can see that I have one of my videos playing on YouTube, and I don't have a SIM card on my phone. So the only way that I'm able to do this is because I'm connected to the GoKL free Wi-Fi on the bus. The bus is just leaving from Pasar Seni, and it is 1:30, so it was 10 minutes between buses. That's pretty good. It's a Monday today, but it's actually a holiday and part of a 3-day weekend here in Malaysia. So the city is different from a normal work day. You know, this is holiday traffic. I don't know whether it's going to be worse than normal weekday traffic or better. We'll find out. So we're on our way to Bukit Bintang, and I don't know what stop I'm going to get off the bus at, but I'm hoping to get off at a stop where the green bus also stops, and then I can transfer from one to the other. We'll see how that works out. So exciting. So I got off the Purple Line bus, there it went. I'm at the Pavillion stop as far as I know, but I only know that from the map on my phone. I don't see any sign here at all for GoKL, you know, whether it's Purple Line or Green Line or anything like that. So I have to figure out whether the Green Line actually stops here or not, but I'm not sure how to do that. Yeah, I don't see any GoKL signs at all. It's particularly confusing because it is a one-way street heading in this direction. And the way I read the map for the Green Line, the buses are supposed to go around Pavillion in the opposite direction from the Purple Line. But I don't think that's possible because it is a one-way street. So I'm going to wait here for a few minutes and see if one of the Green Line buses shows up. Just speaking in general, I think this is one of the reasons why I tend not to use buses. It's just the uncertainty of it all. Like, as far as I know, I could be just sitting at the side of a road waiting for a bus that will never come. You know, that does not stop here at all or doesn't even go down this street for all I know. You know, if you're a local person and you know exactly where the bus stops, you know, and you know the system, then it's okay. But as a visitor, sometimes you don't want that uncertainty, you know? So how long do I sit here waiting for a green GoKL bus that may never come? We'll see. Oh, this is interesting. There is a GoKL bus, and it is the blue line. That's not the one I want. I want the Green Line. Oh, and there it is there. Wow, quite a successful experiment so far. So that worked out really well. So the purple bus, the Purple Line, Blue Line, and Green Line, they all stop there, and that would be the Pavillion stop, I guess. It's right beside the giant Pavillion shopping center. I talked to someone that was waiting there, and they assured me that the Green Line did stop there, but I wasn't quite sure I could trust them because they seemed to be saying yes to all of my questions, no matter what I asked. But it turns out he was right. But the really weird thing about that stop is that there were no signs at all. I mean, Pavillion would have to be one of the major stops. It's listed on all the maps. But at that bus stop itself, there was no signs at all. Like no GoKL bus stop signs, no indication that they stop there or which lines stop there, like nothing at all. So unless you knew in advance about it as a visitor, you would have no clue. But we appear to be going in a loop around Pavillion, following the exact same route that the purple line followed. And there ahead of me is the blue line bus. So it looks like all of the three out of the four lines go through Bukit Bintang. Only the red line doesn't. The really great thing about this system for someone like me is that I don't really have to worry about that much when I'm on this bus, because my plan is to go around the whole loop on this green line, and it will take me all the way back to Pavillion. I'll get off the bus there, and then I can get on the purple line, and that will take me back to Pasar Seni, where I started. So even if I have no idea where I am or what's going on, I can just stay on the bus, and it will eventually take me right back to my starting point. So you really can't get lost. Considering the way the GoKL system works, Bukit Bintang would be a very good place to stay as a backpacker or a tourist, because three of the four lines all follow the same loop through Bukit Bintang. So if you were based here in a hotel in Bukit Bintang, you could take any of the buses and go to all the different parts of Kuala Lumpur, and they would all take you right back to your starting point, back to your hotel. So it's very convenient. But at the same time, a lot of the hotels in Bukit Bintang are quite expensive, like the Westin over there behind me. And if you can afford to stay at the Westin, if that's part of your holiday budget, then you probably don't need a free bus. You would probably be taking a taxi everywhere you go anyway. But there are also budget hotels in Bukit Bintang, and even if you have a lot of money, who doesn't like free? For me, to be honest, the fact that this bus is free is not that big a deal. I mean, if you were paying for this bus trip, you would be paying 2 or 3 ringgit or something like that, you know, which isn't a lot of money. So for me, the question of whether to use a bus or not doesn't really depend on how much it costs or whether it's free. It's really a question of convenience. And so far, these GoKL buses seem pretty convenient. Now that I'm learning the system better, I could see myself using it in the future. Just like the purple line, the green line is going by the StarHill Mall, and this is a high-end luxury mall with all kinds of brand name products, and you can buy a Leica camera in there, park your Mercedes in the parking lot. That's the kind of mall this is. When I took my first ride on the purple line, there were announcements over the speakers, you know, announcing the different stops. It was usually too noisy in here for me to make out what they were saying, but occasionally I could hear the name of, you know, the stop we were at and then the next stop, so it was kind of handy. But on the purple line today, on that bus, there were no announcements that I remember. And here on the green lines, I haven't heard any announcements coming over the speakers either. And as I pointed out on the purple line, there's a small TV screen at the front of the bus. And normally it's just showing advertisements and safety messages, but it does show the names of the different stops that we go to, but it's really hard to read. The lettering is way too small for anyone to read from the back of the bus. It'd be better if that sign had the names of the stops like in big black letters, so it would be easier to read. Just over there is the main entrance to the Pavillion shopping mall. You can recognize it because of the fountains here with the large bowls stacked up on each other. And the bus stop on the opposite side of the road from this entrance, right near the StarHill Gallery. That seems to be a main stop. Almost everybody got off the bus there. So I think that would be a good place to catch this bus if you're staying in Bukit Bintang. You know, just go to the Pavillion Mall, look for that fountain, and right across the road you can catch one of these GoKL buses and then head through the rest of Bukit Bintang, and then we'll head over to KLCC Park, the mall there, and Petronas Towers. And this is definitely the area to go shopping if you like shopping malls. We passed so many of them already, and there's the Fahrenheit 88 mall. This seems to be another major stop right here. They even have a digital sign there showing the names of all the different GoKL bus lines, and even I think I saw timing on there for how soon the next bus would be arriving. I don't know the name of that stop because there was no announcement and it never came up on the TV screen I was watching. So I'm not really sure what it's called. I'll have to look it up later. Yeah, we really slowed down going through the middle of Bukit Bintang, but now we're really speeding up on our way out again. Another regular stop, and this one had a GoKL sign on it. This one I think is the Menara stop. I've kind of given up trying to figure out the stops along the way based on the GoKL maps. I've gotten all turned around, but it doesn't really matter because I think anyone taking this bus would probably be, you know, tracking their progress on their on Google Maps on their phone or something like that. And as I said, I'm not that familiar with this part of Kuala Lumpur, so I haven't been able to do too much of a running commentary of the places that we're passing. Right now we're passing the Grand Hyatt Hotel, and I only know that because I saw the sign. Look at that. Oh, it looks like it's still under construction. It's not open yet. There's a landmark I know right behind us. That is the Traders Hotel, and Traders Hotel has a really nice bar and restaurant way up on one of the top floors, maybe the 22nd floor, and from there you get a really beautiful view of the Petronas Towers and KLCC Park. We're getting close to the Petronas Towers. You can see them over there, just through the trees. We just passed a place called the Binjai on the park. And I remember something about that, seeing it on the map. We seem to be circling KLCC right now. behind it. To be honest, I'm completely lost. I have no idea what street we're on or what direction we're heading in. But with GoKL, doesn't really matter, as I said. Just stay on the bus and enjoy the ride and see where you end up. You'll eventually go back to where you started from. It looks like the green line is the line for tall buildings. Well, we stopped here. I don't know the name of this stop or even where we are, to be honest. But as I said, we're sort of around KLCC and the Petronas towers. Intercontinental Hotel, CitiBank building or City building? Yeah, CitiBank. To say it, but I don't even know the name of that temple that we passed. I'll have to look it up on the map later on. It looked like an interesting place to visit. And we're passing by Robinson's and the Four Seasons. And I think the Petronas towers are always around here somewhere. Actually a sign right here for Petronas KLCC and Surya KLCC. Oh yeah, I think that's the entrance to the park, KLCC Park. This is a Surya KLCC mall. And we're right underneath the Petronas towers now. If you go inside the front of this mall and then walk through the other side, the backside doors pops you out into the KLCC park, where they have the water fountains and the music show at night, the music and light show. Someone just told me that this is the last stop, but I don't know whether I have to get off the bus or not. I don't think so. I think I can just stay on the bus and it will continue on its route. I think so. I think there's people behind me still on the bus. Well, I didn't really understand what was going on there, but they seemed to be telling me to get off the bus and I have to change to a new one, which is kind of an unpleasant surprise for me because my whole deal was I thought I could just go in a loop on the same bus, but they were pretty insistent that I had to get off the bus. And all I want to do is get back on the Green Line, so I'm leaving a Green Line bus just to get back onto a Green Line bus. I just wanted to stay on the same one. So this is the next Green Line bus that is leaving, but I'm going to wait until the next one so that yeah, it'll be a little bit empty when I get on. I don't like getting onto a full bus. But the funny thing is that the next bus to come up to the front is going to be the bus that I was just on. So I'm not sure why I had to get off. Yeah, so this one is a green line as well. And that one's a green line. But I'm just going to wait until an empty one comes. But I did learn something interesting, I guess, because this is the final stop right in front of KLCC, the Surya KLCC Mall. So this would be the main stop for the green line. So stop number 1 is right here. So there that one goes. And the next one is pulling up into place. So my next GoKL bus on the Green Line is leaving from the Petronas Towers and KLCC. Still doing the parade of tall buildings. Even got KL Tower over there in the background. Oddly enough, it doesn't seem as comfortable as my original Green Line bus. The air conditioning isn't working as well. It's kind of hot and sweaty in here this time around. And I'm waiting to see whether their announcements work on this bus, whether they, announce the stops over the PA system or not. The Malaysia Tourism Center. I've never been there. I have no idea what services they offer, or whether it's a good place for someone like me to visit or not. Now we're passing the Ritz-Carlton residences. Binjai Central Park. As I said, I've given up on figuring out the names of the stops because I think there are even more stops than they list on the map. So even as I was trying to track them with the official GoKL route map, we seem to be stopping at tons of places that weren't even on the map. So I really have no idea what the names of these places are. As I said before, you just have to get on the bus and go with the flow and get off where you feel like getting off when you see something that interests you. Now we're passing the Bukit Nanas monorail station. And the Concorde Hotel. I seem to remember a GoKL stop named after Concorde. We're on our way back to Bukit Bintang, and one of the stops is here at the Life Center. And we also passed, I think, the Shangri-La Hotel. This is the Menara MBF. Oh, what's this huge building? Equatorial Plaza. Ah, with think that's the EQ building that I saw the other day. Wisma Genting building, or Wisma Genting. This looks like another popular... Oh! I didn't even realize it, but we're right back at Pavillion, and this is where I got on the bus to begin with. I had no idea we were here already. But I think I'm going to stay on this bus until we get to StarHill Gallery at the other entrance to Pavillion, and I'm going to get off there and switch over to the Purple Line from there. It just seemed to be a stop where more people get off the bus and then get back on again. I'm staring out the window, you know, like a dummy. Had no idea where I am, and suddenly we're right back where I started from. Had no idea. And here we are at the really busy stop. Not going to be easy getting off though, because they parked right beside the bushes. There we go. Just enough room. And there it goes. Once again, though, it's kind of a weird stop because there's nothing here. Like, there's no GoKL signs or information boards or anything. Just sort of stopped at the side of the road and let everybody off. So I guess I will just wait here until the Purple Line comes along, and then I can take the Purple Line back to Pasar Seni. We are right across the road from the Bukit Bintang entrance, I guess, to the Pavillion Mall. Right over there. Not to harp on this or anything, but it does seem really odd that this GoKL system, I mean, this seems to be a major stop right here. Most of the passengers got off at this point, and most got on for the Bukit Bintang area. And there's not a single sign anywhere saying, you know, wait here for GoKL bus. Like, nothing at all. Again, if you're a visitor, you would have no idea that the GoKL bus stops at this point. You would have no idea. Weird. Since I'm waiting here for the Purple Line bus to take me back to Pasar Seni, maybe I can give my summary of the Green Line. I mean, as transportation, I'm sure it's absolutely fine. You know, if you're staying here in Bukit Bintang and you want to go to KLCC and the Petronas Towers, hop on the GoKL bus, go there, check it out, hop back on the bus, come back here, and you're done. So it's a very handy and convenient way to get around the city. I don't know why though, but I had a much more enjoyable time riding on the Purple Line bus than I did the Green Line bus. That Green Line, I don't know, I was just confused the entire time. I had no idea where we were going, mainly because we were in the middle of all those tall buildings all the time. And I'm just leaning down, you know, trying to look out the window, look up to see the tops of these buildings. And with the Purple Line route, maybe everything's a little bit more human level and down to earth. Or it could be that I just know this neighborhood so well, Chinatown and that area from Chinatown to Bukit Bintang. So I wasn't as lost as I was on the Green Line, because I just do not know that area at all. I'm always lost out there. But as a way of getting around, yeah, works out just fine. And the bus coming back, though, was hot. The air conditioner seemed to be broken on that particular bus, so I was really sweating while I was in there. And all the other buses I've been on, the air conditioning was really strong, so it was more comfortable. So the good and the bad of the Green Line of GoKL. Now we just have to get on the Purple Line. Here comes a GoKL bus. The Purple Line. So this is my bus. We'll see if it stops here. But I don't really want to block people. Oh, so I guess I'll get on here at the front. Let people get off through the side doors. And just to switch things up, I thought I'd sit on the right side of the bus this time for going back to Pasar Seni. See what we can see out the window on the right. First thing, of course, is the entrance to Pavillion. And this first part of the ride is the same as the Green Line anyway, because they both follow the same route through Bukit Bintang. There's the entrance for the Bukit Bintang MRT stop. Though, to be honest, in my normal life, if I were going back to Pasar Seni, that's what I would do. I would just head down into the MRT, and 2 stops later, I'm back at Pasar Seni. That's the route I would normally take. We're running beside the MRT, the monorail line now. And this is the main stop that I noticed before. And up there you can see the signboard. It actually has the names of all the buses and even the times for the next bus to arrive here, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of people waiting for different buses. It seems like all roads lead back to Lin Fu Yung and the Marco Polo restaurant inside here. And I keep thinking about that Way Back Burgers restaurant there. That would go down well. Holiday Inn Express. One thing that astonishes me about Kuala Lumpur, and maybe every major city, is just how many hotels there are. It's weird that there are so many hotels, and if you check into them, they're all almost full all the time. So you have to wonder, it's like, does anybody ever stay home anymore? It's like, why do we need so many huge hotels everywhere in the world? I mean, don't we have homes to go to? And there's the Weld. It's another GoKL stop. And I guess if you take the GoKL buses after a while, you start to learn the names of all these places. The Weld and Pavillion, Lin Fu Yung, Wisma, Boosted, KLCC, Surya, KLCC, the places where these buses all stop. And here underneath the KL Tower, I guess this would be part of the Eco Park, Kuala Lumpur Eco Park. And I think this is the main entrance into the park here, with a small museum and nature center. I was supposed to go to the Eco Park last Saturday, actually, but I did a bit of research beforehand, and I found out that the canopy walkway was closed for repairs. All the wooden boards, a lot of them had broken, and they shut it all down to fix it up. So it was a good thing I didn't go. There's the Museum Telecom again. Funny thing is that I've gone through this area a lot and I never noticed that building before, but now that I know about it, every time I go by I can't help but see it. So I plan on going there maybe one day next week. I've been learning a lot lately about these old department stores like Mydin and Kota, Raya, places like that. I've had a reason to go shopping there recently, and you find all kinds of interesting old shops in there that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And there goes one of the LRT lines. I think that's the Ampang line. I recently needed to buy a fuse for my travel adapter because the fuse blew, and I could not find it anywhere until someone at a hardware store told me to come here to Kota Raya. And if you go all the way up to the top floor of this department store, you find this crazy little electronics store way up at the top, and they had all kinds of stuff for sale in there, and they had the fuse that I needed. I think a lot of the original tenants of the Kota Raya have moved out. It's not such a popular mall anymore. And now there's all kinds of small shops in there that are catering to immigrant worker communities. So you get a lot of Filipino shops, Bangladeshi shops, and they're all cater to things that these people need. It's really quite interesting. But a lot of the shops in there are empty and closed up. Kota Raya. In keeping with this idea of just how many hotels there are, I never even noticed this one before. This is the Pacific Express Hotel. Quite a large hotel, but right up until today, I don't think I ever even noticed the building before. It's the Wisma Fuichu building. We're right back at the Lai Fung restaurant. Breakfast this morning at Lucy in the Sky with Wander Eats, and yeah, had a really good breakfast there. Really good coffee, good food. Yeah, prices are pretty good too, I think. But you'll have to ask the expert Wander Eats how good it really was. And here we are back at Home Sweet Home, past our Seni station. The Starlight Hotel. And that's it for my GoKL adventure today. There's my Purple Line bus. Just dropped this off. And now I guess it makes sense. You know how at KLCC on the Green Line, they made me get off the bus and get on another one. And that makes sense now that I think about it, because that was the terminal station. And here at Pasar Seni, this is the terminal station for the Purple Line. And everybody has to get off this bus, mainly because it's now going to sit here and wait for whatever 30 or 40 minutes until it's turn to leave. So if you wanted to do a complete loop, you know, you kind of have to ride the bus to the terminal station, get out of that bus, and then go to the front of the line and get in the next bus that's scheduled to leave. They wouldn't really expect you to stay in the bus waiting until it got to the front of the line and left again. So that was the Green Line today. Green Line from Bukit Bintang to KLCC. That's the route that it follows. If you're staying in a hotel in either of those two places, yeah, look for the GoKL Green Line to get you in between Bukit Bintang and KLCC. Free bus. People say nothing good is free. Nothing in life is free, but I disagree. The GoKL buses are pretty darn good and they're absolutely free. Next up, the red and the blue lines. I want to check those out as well. And I'll see you in those next videos. Testing the Rode Wireless Go. I have it sitting here on my collar this time, a little bit closer to my mouth. I don't know if that's better or not. Is it working?